Hello, everyone.
Hola.
Hola.
Hello. So we are back for another Mischief Mayhem movie show, episode number 3. Plenty of shit to talk about today.
Yeah, tons.
And happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. I know I did. It was fun coming back to work today. But hey, here we are. How are my fellas doing today on this wonderful Monday?
Well, I just had Thanksgiving part 2, so I'm nice and toasty.
Well, I just got done making and eating dinner, and I didn't even send you pictures. So, you know, that's how good it was. It's gone.
Oh.
Were you eating deer again?
Pork chop this time.
Oh.
Domesticated food.
No, gross.
We are going to just really quickly address the chat because we have 14 people already. These wonderful people just sit here waiting for us. So I want to shout out the chat real quick, then we'll get into the stories. Plenty of stuff to talk about. So we got Weird World Comedy, my man, Vex Electronica. How you doing? Let's see here. Then I got, of course, Mom Sasquatch, Left Eye Eagle, my man, Left Eye. I want to give Left Eye a big shout out. Shouted out my merchandise that came to him. And I appreciate that. Look good on you. Let's see who else we got here. Of course, we got the wife, Jana, in here, of course. Thank you for joining. Wookie Be Bad, how you doing? My Call of Duty buddy on YouTube and on PS5. How you doing there, buddy? Let's see who else we got real quick. There's a lot of people. Janet. Got Janet in here. Double G Greg. Love It Litical is in here. We're just popular people. Let's just face it. It's like Copa said. We're just beautiful looking. I got my daughter. Yeah, we're hot. It's just, you know, who wouldn't want to look at these faces?
I know. Who wouldn't want to date us?
Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Diane is in the chat. Yeah, I got a new camera that I'm trying to figure out here. So hopefully it looks good. Everything's streaming well. Got a lot of talk about to start off today. And we wanted to do a topical show for you guys today. And there is a lot going on. So I figured the best thing to start off with, whenever Disney fails, is a win for us. I think all of us here would agree. So let's get right to the sharing of the screens. And we have our first major topic today. And this is Kathleen Kennedy.
Yay.
That beautiful face.
Yeah. So that face will give me nightmares for the rest of my life.
That stage.
Well, yeah, it's she could have been a character in Star Wars, right?
I think she almost was.
She was Jabba the Hutt's wife at some point, maybe.
Yeah. I think she was the Sarlacc pit.
Ah, God, you sick bastards. So we got some news here. Basically, it came out today. Just basically reading off the article here. It says, following Bob Chapek's ouster at Disney as Disney CEO, new rumors are claiming that Kathleen Kennedy will get the boot from Lucasfilm and Star Wars. So I think, Copa, you were saying that it's basically once Indiana Jones 15 comes out and it fails, she's basically being kicked out. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is she hasn't ruined all of Lucasfilm yet. She's still got one more to go. So once she gets that ring inside of her gauntlet, that's when she'll say, "Okay, I'm going to bounce now." Lucasfilm is entirely on fire and going down.
Yeah. Just kind of reading into it here. It's basically just going through this kind of what happened in the last week or so since Bob Chapek was fired as the CEO. The company announced his predecessor, Bob Iger, would be returning for a 2-year stint. And then basically this is where the rumor came that Kathleen Kennedy might be on the chopping block. There was some interesting information that came out from Bob Iger today, basically stating that he's going to do the status quo, keep Disney doing what it's been doing. Is anybody really surprised by that, if that is true? Because why change at this point? Because he's the one who started all this. So why would he change?
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised by it whatsoever. Exactly what you said is that he's the one who started all. The only thing that Iger is good at, like I said before, is that he's good at acquiring IPs. He's good at acquiring IPs, and all this shit started under him. It's going to continue under him. And now that he doesn't have any more money to acquire IPs, that's all he's got left is just keep steering the ship in the direction that the shareholders and all the activists wanted to go in, which is straight into an iceberg as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of people thought that whenever he came back that, suddenly all the wokeness would be gone. But like you said, Kova, that, he'd been starting that a long time ago anyways. It's just that Bob got the full brunt of a lot of stuff coming out of Florida.
Yeah. So basically explains here that Bob Iger has traditionally been an ally of Kathleen Kennedy. Has traditionally been a Catholic ally. With Bob Iger coming back, that will entrench her even more, and she will probably stay out until the end of her contract. Not a surprise. Let's see here. And then it says here, like, basically, I don't think she lasts beyond the end of her new contract she's got. I think she's out either by or shortly after 2025. I don't know if that's true. We'll wait and see. But when is Indiana Jones supposed to come out anyway?
Next year. I want to say June.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Here
we go. It says okay. I've heard that the decision to remove Kathy Kennedy has already been made, and she will be gone either sometime before or very, very, very shortly after the release of Indiana Jones 5. Now, I have to be very, very, very clear here. I cannot independently say you confirm that this is a fact. I will say that one of the two people that have contacted me has a 1,000% average on these things. 1,000% people. That's higher than 100, just in case you're.
Who's that doing the talking? Is that Doomcock? Is that Doomcock with the 1,000% average?
It didn't say. It didn't say.
Okay.
It just said that whoever that person is, it's 1,000%.
Right, because what I was saying is, if this is a Doomcock rumor, then you can flip a coin and figure out if it's going to be real or not. Like he's hit and miss with his rumors.
That's a good point.
He actually needs to stop.
Well, just
at this point,
it's like a lot of things with these rumors. It's all just hearsay and just
right.
Whatever.
Because every time
you're right. I mean,
because every time this rumor's been uttered, Disney's doubled down and extended her contract to the point where they clink glasses and walk away after they do it too. They're just like, oh my god, they bid into that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, even if she was somehow released and all that, and contract not renewed or anything, at this point, what would she get replaced with? Would it be any better?
Doubt it.
I doubt it. No. With what they're shooting for,
I think Disney is just a shitstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Disney's in a position now where they can't admit fault. They put themselves in this prison where they can't admit fault and they can't back out of this crap. They have nowhere to go now.
Yeah.
They have to double, triple down on the stuff that they've put out there. It's going to be a long time and a couple CEOs later.
Yeah. I think it's been Nerdrotic basically for a while has been saying that if before it gets better, it's going to be a lot worse, and it's going to take a long time to reverse course on this. So it even says here in the article that the blame doesn't just lie with Kennedy, because Iger was the one who empowered Kennedy. through and stayed with her through her disastrous sequel trilogy. It even says here, in fact, 2 years after the release of The Last Jedi, Iger claims Star Wars didn't have a storytelling problem. It's really just a matter of, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know where they go from here. I don't know what they can do from here. It's kind of a mess, and Disney is just in a bad spot. And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
maybe they can go ahead and spend like $148 million on a movie that isn't going to make it back. I don't know.
Disney's the only one that could put themselves in this kind of bad spot and kind of afford it. But I don't think they can afford too many more. Yeah, for now. But I don't think they can afford too much more of this, to be honest with you. They're just everything about them is hemorrhaging money now. I don't know one aspect of their business model that's not hemorrhaging money.
Well, what was the story about Chapek that came out, I think yesterday, that he was cooking the books basically, and they were losing much more money than initially was broadcasted. So there's a lot of inside shit that's going on, and it makes sense as to why they got rid of him so quickly. But I don't think anybody's like Kathleen Kennedy from the beginning. Any changes she's made or approvals she's made of anything has been a disaster. And it just makes sense to me that after Indiana Jones 5, which I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say is going to be a shit movie. Just saying, I don't know that for a fact, but track record and all.
Wild speculation there.
Yeah, it's a wild speculation. I'm going absolutely on a limb. But their stuff is just not doing well, and so
everything that I've seen about Indiana Jones 5, it all points to. I already have my theory with it, based on what I've seen alone. They're going to ditch Indiana Jones into the past, like that's how the movie's going to end. And they keep saying like, oh, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is not going to replace him as Indiana Jones, and it's like, yeah, by name. But she's still going to replace him, because what's going to happen is they're going to do this time traveling bit. And by the end, Indy's going to know his places in the past. Right. And then she's going to take over because women are the future. And that's exactly how it's going to end. I guarantee it.
I completely agree with you. And she's supposed to be his goddaughter in the movie, supposedly.
That just came
out. I don't know how that. It's just, it's like, I don't know. This is just a goddamn mess.
Another absentee father narrative.
Nobody wants an Indiana Fleabag. We weren't looking for that.
No.
Right. And they're trying to give us that. And they keep trying to push this woman on us.
I should have stopped after. Yeah. Well, we know why.
Why? Tell me why.
That's their thing. That's their thing right now. Is the start with the MCU? They're trying to push all this female empowerment. Yeah. And now, why not do it to another franchise? Well, they have no shame. Obviously,
right, that's true.
It's Disney, right? So
I can think of like 10 women to play her goddaughter that would make a better fit than this chick.
I like we're advanced.
I love him.
We're
Good God, that's hilarious.
Never change. Yeah, I agree. Political. It's true. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's the absolute worst. I like your wife's comment here, because I want to know when this is going to happen.
When did you make a sandwich? I love you, honey.
Yeah, you're
about the second. It will be the second act.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's where the problem. You're part of the, and then she'll bitch about the patriarchy at that point. I'm like, oh, this is all men won. Is
before the movie comes out. Yeah. Before even the first trailer.
Indiana Joff Raiders of the Last. They should have just stopped at the last one with Sean Connery. What was that? The Last Crusade, right?
Yeah.
You knew they weren't, because money did.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I thought, okay, well, it's done.
Frick was the one with the aliens called the Crystal
Skull.
Yeah.
Why?
The last frame that I seen of Indiana Jones was him riding away with his father and his two friends, and that was it. And that was the last of Indiana Jones that I know.
Absolutely.
Of.
You had a great trilogy
after that. Oh yeah. Ended on a high note. They had James
Junior
Bond playing with his father. Playing as his father.
Junior. That's Junior. I love that movie.
I should have mailed it
listen.
to the Marx Brothers.
Indiana.
We named a dog Indiana.
You were named after the dog. I love that dog. Got that fucking old raspy. Anyway,
well, you have to do the Harrison Ford point. You know, I love that. I
love that dog.
He always points. I love that dog.
Yeah, it's a great trilogy. Even though as I grew up, I didn't love the Temple of Doom as much as an adult as I did as a kid. It's still a good movie.
Yeah, Temple of Doom is like a roller coaster, right? I used to.
It's
think
a dark
that was
movie.
The best one. Oh, it is.
Yeah,
but when I was a kid,
but it's good.
Yeah.
I loved it as a kid. I loved it. As I got older, I was like, the first and
But-
third to me are the best, but it's still a good part of it. Like, it still fits. It's a good trilogy. It's a great trilogy.
To me, the third was my favorite. That was the best, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so the third was definitely the most fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
The first one is definitely my favorite, especially because you have the sequence of him fighting on the airplane wing.
Yeah,
and then it turns into
people's
a truck
faces
chase
melted off.
And then towards the end, everybody went to a metal concert and their faces melted off.
Everybody's faces melted off from the box took their souls. And I always equate this to, I don't know why I always compare it to this, but I always equate Indiana Jones' first three movies to like the Die Hard franchise. First one's the best one. The second one is like, and then the third one is just the fun one.
Yes.
They did a lot more action, more comedy. Yeah. Because I'm just a smart person. I like comparing everything to Die Hard. So.
Well, what doesn't compare to Die Hard? Citizen Kane. Well, it's just as good as Die Hard, if not a little worse.
Sure. Rosebud.
It doesn't have the Christmas aspect.
No. Well, kinda. It is a Christmas.
Just
we'll get into that
for a brief moment. We'll talk Citizen Kane later.
Yeah, well, we got things to talk about here. So speaking of Disney and bombing, we had a new movie that just came out, and boy, did this shitbag bomb!
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the scapegoat being the gay characters in the movie. That this is the scapegoat now. Is that we were talking about this, Copa, a little bit before? Is what really caused this movie to fail? So, of course, the media is making it sound like people didn't want to go see it because there was a lesbian couple in the movie, apparently, and that was the main focus. And I'm sure that's some part of it.
It might be. Personally, for
the movie
me,
wasn't advertised well.
It wasn't advertised.
Yeah,
I had no idea it came out. I knew more about this movie by it bombing than actually it actually being released, or there was some kind of lesbian couple in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything woke in it, I had no idea. All I knew about this movie was it bombed. And I went, what the hell movie is this? And I looked into it, and I mean, it was $135 million production. And they didn't advertise it.
It's a lot of money.
I found out about this movie yesterday when we said that we'd talk about it. I really hadn't heard crap about it other than
I only knew a little bit about it because the media was jumping ahead of everything like they normally do when they think something's not going to do well, and they because of there's an agenda in the movie last week I started noticing more stories coming out about it. Not that the movie was good, not what the story was about, just that it had a lesbian couple in the story, and that was what you needed to go see it for. So naturally, it's gonna lose from what all estimates are showing is $147 million. It cost $180 million to make the damn thing. For an animated movie, to me, is absolutely insane. Like you said, I know Disney has the budget. Jesus, $180 million.
So it's done like 24 at the most right now.
I think so.
And the rule is you double that.
Advertising
to cost for your print and advertising. And where did that money go? That's my question: is where did that money go? Because not one of us has heard of it.
No.
Well, maybe Copa does because he keeps up on all things Disney, but the rest of the real world has not heard of this movie. So where did that money go? And so my thought is that what this looks like is this was purposely tanked, and I think this was remnants of Chapek. We were talking about this earlier. and I think this my little conspiracy is that Chapek was trying to tank this movie on purpose in order to get his agenda across the board going, where he can start firing people for the woke stuff. He could sit here and say, see, the woke stuff isn't working. It's tanked. We have to try something new. We have to go back.
It's an interesting take.
Yeah, to go back to family values, if not Christian family values. And we have to start pandering to them more because this isn't working. So I think that's the deal. And then obviously he got fired before he can do that.
So he thought he was going to make it past all that. Yeah. So take it to a point where it gets so bad that he basically, they have no choice but to force change and then go back to the kind of the way it was. That's a nice theory.
That's a nice theory. That's what it's looking like to me, because not one of us has heard about this movie, and then they release it and it tanks.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we heard about
Disney let an animated movie tank. This sounds.
Well, they did it with Lightyear tanked. I mean, bad.
Yeah, but they promoted the hell out of that.
Yeah,
they did. They did.
You knew about it. You saw previews to that. You didn't see previews to Strange World. Ask the chat. Hey, chat, have you seen any previews to Strange World?
So you got here, Wookiee Be Bad. This is what I was kind of discussing today with you guys, is that Iger said representation matters the most. Okay, well,
of course he did.
Yeah. And then this is why when people were so excited, oh, he's going to come back and fix Disney. No. Yeah. That was never going to happen. They're not going to allow it to happen. And they have to really, really sink much further. When we're talking Titanic level sinking. No pun.
I'm talking. They're going to have to start selling off
assets.
They're going to have to start selling off, like, sell Pixar back to Apple. And that was another conspiracy I had. Everybody's like, oh, they're trying to position themselves so Apple would buy Disney. And I was like, no. They'd rather sell Pixar back to Apple rather than sell the whole thing. But I guarantee you in the next year, you're going to start seeing Disney sell assets back. And you're going to start seeing Disney sell assets back to 20th Century Fox. And it's going to be cents on the dollar just to save themselves.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. Well, it depends. Selling to Apple doesn't really fix much because Apple's just as bad as Disney.
I don't know much about what's going on Apple streaming, like Apple Plus or anything like that.
It's very woke.
Is it?
I mean, they have Hillary Clinton. They have Jon Stewart and Hillary Clinton shows on there.
Oh God! Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
never mind. Yeah.
So a lot of their programming is very into the super feminist. They're
basically subsidized content too.
100%. You're not fixing much by selling assets off to Apple. Apple has the money to pretty much buy anything they want.
Right.
So if it's a financial decision, sure, it makes sense for Disney maybe down the road, but you're not content wise. No, you're not. Yeah. See, even Vex here says she wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. This is a move some of the gaming industry is letting we got the sex bots in here again. Jesus.
They're for me,
guys. That's all Copa right there.
Yeah,
that's all
me.
Copa.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't tell my wife. She's in the chat.
She knows. She knows. It's that head. She knows. Yeah, I mean, Vex Electronica on her awesome podcast last night, we were talking a lot about the gaming industry, and there's a lot of correlations between that and movie industry and how these companies are just infected with woke and the decisions they make going forward. Not just about the betterment of content for people. It's all messaging.
Right.
And it's really frustrating.
And Vex can speak on this better than I can, but what's crazier is, like, with the movie, you got 2 hours with it and you go. It's not like you pay $10 for half the movie and then you pay $5 for the rest of it. With gaming, though, it's like most of the time you're getting this unfinished product now, or you're paying for extra stuff that like pay to play these days. Everything's connected to the internet, and that's where gaming really gets you.
She even says it here. It's all sectors. It's all similar pattern. And you're right. Gaming is just as bad. It's actually, I don't want to say it's worse because it's similar though, where you have properties that people like, and you get people in based on that property. It doesn't matter. Like, there's a very big popular game coming out sometime next year. It's a Spider-Man sequel for PlayStation, right? First game was fantastic. Sold a ton of freaking copies. Great game. It's by a company called Insomniac, and Vex can attribute to this. She can attest to this. Insomniac's a very woke company. A lot of messaging in their games after that game came out. I even think there was a lot of controversy with they had gay pride flags in their game, and then some mod came in and basically took them all out and put American flags in, and they banned that guy from ever playing the game. It's like a mess. Yeah. So my kid the other day is like, "Are you excited for that game?" And I go, "I was." When I first heard about it. Right. Now I don't know what because it's in the beginning of all the Insomniac games, all their games, they have this message that comes out. It says, "Oh, we're a bunch of diverse people from all walks of life and sexual preference." It's like, why do I need to see that before a fucking game screen? So that scares the shit out of me. So now, like movies, like TV shows, I have to screen my games. Now, people like Vex, who reviews this for a living, I have to go to her and go, tell me if it's woke. Same thing we do with YouTube when I go to Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Geeks and Game, like all these people that okay, you tell me what you think first, and then we'll see if I want to put my money into this. This is what's happening. And then Disney, Disney and Apple, they're all the same. It's just kind of.
I think you're right, and I think with independent creators like Drinker, Neurotic, Vex, and everybody else, is that you look at these people and you go, look, you have like the kind of similar views and similar tastes that I do. So let me see what you like, and I'm pretty sure I'll like it too. It used to be that way with a lot of like professional reviewers and stuff like that, but they're all bought and paid for now. Like you can see it with IGN. If we're talking gaming, like Kotaku, obviously.
Oh, they're bad. Well, yeah.
I mean, they're bought and paid for, with all. Can you even say it? Gamergate? Can I say Gamergate?
IGN is a shit show.
IGN's a shit show. GameSpot, it's a shit show. And they're all bought and paid for.
Yeah, even Vex says it here. The new Wednesday show on Netflix, Tim Burton production. It's all, I mean, some people like it. And this is my point. If you like this stuff, you like this stuff. I'm not going to knock you for it. But don't tell me there's no messaging. There's messaging here, clearly. She's saying it. And this is why I will not watch it. And it's not that because she is a lesbian or there's any gay characters, or I don't care. But when you deviate from the storylines just to have, and it's so obvious and hit you over the head. It's like, no, you take me out of the movie, you take me out of the show, I'm done.
Right.
And I'm not going to give you my time.
When you shoehorn something in to a story, no matter what the medium is, but once you shoehorn something in, the audience gets taken out of the entire story, and that's it. And they're
just like RT says here. IGN licks groomers' balls. You're right. Thanks for joining the show, and thank you, Filipino Meatball, my co-host on Fridays, for joining as well.
Meatball.
Meatball's in
here. Meatball.
Meatball. It's the same thing with this show that I started watching, 1899 on Netflix. I was really looking forward to this show. Mm-hmm. I've only watched the first 2 episodes because it takes me some time to watch long form series. And Vex watched it, and we were chatting a little bit, and she said, "Just beware." And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Here it comes.
After episode, I've only got through 2. She finished it, so she didn't spoil anything for me. It's just a lot of people I know didn't want to spoil it for me. She's not the only one. Be careful. It's about 2 episodes too long, and they extended it. It should have been 6 episodes and went to 8 because they had to inject that certain messaging to extend the storyline. Well, that's not about the story itself.
Right.
And it pisses me off because the showrunners did the show Dark on Netflix, which I thought was fantastic.
That German show, right?
Great show. Great show.
A German time traveler show?
Yeah. And it was fantastic. It was well written. It was thought out, and it didn't have any woke messaging because it was made 10 years ago or whatever it was initially. Right.
But that's Netflix's style, is to shoehorn that shit in. If Netflix made a TV show about George Washington tomorrow, George Washington would be black and crippled.
Yeah. And gay.
But he'd get across the Potomac like nobody's business.
Yeah. He would be gay for the king. And him and the king are just having some relationship issues. That's all.
But they treat everybody like as though 90% of the world is into all this and is a certain, different way and all. And
it's true.
I don't know. It doesn't really represent like they're doing this because they want to have representation. But I feel like you're not representing a whole lot of people here.
You're alienating audiences a lot. What is it? The small 1%. You're doing this for them, and I'm not saying they can't have their shows.
Right.
Just create your own goddamn networks and make your own shows. That's it.
They used to have their own networks and shows, and
they never got supported
for a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Subsidized ideas.
That's just the way it is people voted for their wallets. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't any good shows on like the TV channel logo.
Was this true, R2? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Copa. I just got distracted by this comment here. Did you hear about Netflix's
R2 is the smart one?
I wouldn't say smart. He shut off somebody's stream the other day. That was great.
Good for him.
By accident, supposedly. Did you hear about the Netflix show where you can watch it in any episode order you want and will change the outcome? Are you fucking kidding me? Like interactive TV, basically. Like you decide what. I don't know if I like that.
They had that Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Is it something like that? Oh no, he's saying to change the whole entire.
It's going to star the guy. Is the star of Mayoff Gideon from the really?
Oh, Giancarlo Esposito.
What are we doing? What are we doing with entertainment? Nerdrotic said it for a long time. Long form content is going to be eventually not a thing of the past. It'll be around, but it's going to diminish. Where people like us on YouTubers are going to that's why we're skyrocketing in popularity. People want to be entertained with this. And then people like Ripa and like newer people coming up who are going to hopefully save this fucking thing. Long form content is expensive, and he has a point. It's very expensive to make, and when you keep dropping profits and ratings, it can only withstand on itself so long. So it's going to come crashing down.
Here's the thing. When I was working in Hollywood, I was saying this back in 2010. I was sitting here saying, look, these mega budget pictures can't last long. These 220 mega budget projects, it just can't happen. You can make a $20 million TV show or movie and it can still be good. It all starts with good writing. Get this crap together in the writing room first. See what's going on in Hollywood today is they're no longer writing the stuff in the writing room. What they're writing in the writing room is story beats. So the production companies come in and say, hey, look, we have these 5 beats that we want you to hit. And they go, okay. So they write out the beats, they fill them out. And then what happens is during the production, another writing team comes in, or maybe even the same writing team, and then they flesh out the in-between bits because they're filming the beats first. So as they're filming the beats, then they come back and they come in and they start fleshing out like a story in between. That's what's going on with Marvel. That's why Marvel now sucks, because they're starting to not even care about what's going on in the writing room. They're just caring about what beats they want to hit, what agenda points they want to hit, or what action sequences. They have a check mark list, and then they fill it out in between.
It's almost like they're looking at Twitter and like you can do this for review content, like this. But when you're looking at Twitter like 3 months ago and trying to find a hot topic to be able to somehow inject into your episode, whatever's hitting big at the time, and you make that your episode just to fill in those areas, like you're talking about, that's not a good idea. It's not like what you're talking about. At one time, there were scripts in a box, and Forrest Gump. It was a script in a box that somebody found, and then it got cycled around for years before it finally became a movie. They're not doing that now.
No, they have at least, I know there's at least 15 well-written scripts that are just sitting on a shelf collecting dust. One of them is called, I can't remember what it's called, but it was originally Morgan Freeman was attached to it, and it was written by Arthur C. Clarke. Yeah, it was written by Arthur C. Clarke, who wrote 2001, and everybody at one point was attached to this. I think at one point Fincher was attached to it. David Fincher was attached to direct to it, and it's still sitting on a shelf. Yeah, all this talent came and went on the script, and no studio wants to fund it.
Oh God, it's really sad. We're going through the flamboyant pre-World War II Germany phase, but world.
This is a lot. Yeah, this is the Roaring '20s, but with a depression in the middle of it.
Big one. it's only going to get worse too.
Right.
Yeah.
3 to 4 years, I could probably see that as a good timeline, to be honest.
It also
free
depends
speech,
on
all
the
this shit.
next election.
Oh God.
Because
yeah, that's another thing. In the next 2 years, it's going to be a lot of fun.
2016 seemed to almost kind of determine how hard companies were going to push at the time against something else.
What I see as Hollywood's saving grace is probably Zaslav and Warner Brothers. I think he's trying to do the right thing and make the right moves, and I think eventually in the end it's going to pay off. And the rest of these companies are just going to follow suit because they have to.
Right. Yeah, they're going to have no choice. I mean, we all know what's going on worldwide with, should I say the country's name or I get kicked off the fucking stream?
I've seen a few people, even people that solely report on that, and they're claiming that
I'm not going to say.
Yeah, but a certain country where things from a certain origin came from a certain place. I don't know.
Yeah. Something happened, and those poor people, I feel bad for them because they're fighting back, and
some of them are. Some welders are getting to practice their skills by welding doors shut again. Yep. You know what was weird? This morning, it was like the most 1984 / Blade Runner looking thing I've seen in the town that we're talking about. Let's say this hypothetical town that we're talking about. They had drones flying over this neighborhood about 15 to 20 feet apart from each other, about 20 of them. And they're shooting aerosol down and disinfecting the entire neighborhood. It looked like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really happened.
It was a dystopian nightmare that I was looking at. And it was in real life, and it's in my lifetime.
Yeah. Never thought you'd probably ever see that. And then here we are. And then
it's Half-Life 2 shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's shit you see in a movie or a game that you would never expect.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, it kind of leads us into the next subject real quick is the whole freedom of speech, freedom in general. Well, we got a man on a platform that bought a platform recently that really is trying to fight for free speech. But God damn it, man, every turn this guy makes is just becoming harder and harder and harder for him to get. But what I love about this man is that he will not stop, and he has the power and ability to have alternatives. And I'm going to bring this up real quick off of my Twitter feed. So I don't know if everybody can see that, but we know Elon Musk. This news kind of broke earlier, and thank you, Copa, for bringing this to our attention. By the way, to talk about.
Yes, you're welcome.
You are good for some things.
Well, ask my wife. No, I'm just making you feel good. You do have a nice shiny head, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I polish it before every show.
Turtle wax.
Yeah. Do you have one of those like bowling ball things that cleans the ball?
You got a buffer.
You just stick your head in?
You got a buffer.
Yeah, the buffer.
Okay, now I'm getting hurt feelings.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm not sensitive.
That's the whole point. Stop it.
Oh, just kidding.
How low are those hurt feelings? So anyway, Elon.
Wow, a Filipino meatball's really given up a lot of his own rights just to get Vex Second Amendment rights in Canada. That's dedication, right? That's love, right?
You know what? No, that's freedom. That's a freedom fighter.
That's freedom, all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a freedom fighter if I've ever seen one before. You know what? I support this.
Changing the
Get
world.
That OnlyFans. Yeah.
One at a time.
R2 Icky said he had to go throw out the trash and he's still listening. I appreciate the dedication there, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, R2.
I tell you what, though, you want to fight here. Listen, you want to fight for freedom? I'll show you how Filipino meatball fights for freedom.
Wow.
That's a fight.
Right. Now that's a curvy man.
I mean, he's a meatball, right? I mean,
is he there? Well, so am I.
Yeah, but he's a Filipino meatball.
Together, we could be meatballs. Just saying.
With our powers combined. Mrs. Coley Nat Sasquatch says I should stop bald hate. Yeah. My boss is bald. Stovepipe is bald.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. See, and
it's not hate.
He's a boss, just like me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to call yourself that.
I command all of this area right here. You see this?
All that area right there.
All of that is
just
me,
this
baby.
area.
Just that area.
Yeah.
That's it.
I appreciate that.
That is it. That's all I get.
Canada can't stop those hips to contain Oh God, I love these people so much.
He moves like spaghetti. He moves like wet spaghetti.
Just right through, wet spaghetti through a fork after you pull it out of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
so
you
whirling around.
You know.
Were we talking about Elon?
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, we're not going to pull bald. Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch says she wants to pull a bald pictures of me when I was in high school, about 100 pounds. Nobody needs to see that shit.
Oh, did you shave it for like football or something?
No, I just, it was the thing to do, Oh,
okay.
I wanted. I what you see now is I like it this length and a little shorter. I hate having hair, which sounds weird because look at White Bear, just flowing locks. But
he loves it. You can tell. You can tell it. He just loves it.
He sits in front of the mirror and just kind of plays with it.
And I'm sitting. He's sitting there playing with it and loving it and talking to it. You talk to it, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do that to my hair too.
Oh,
he does that. He does that thing in what was it, Tommy Boy? When he's like, "You're naughty. You're naughty.
You're naughty."
Oh God. So you have Elon Musk today.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of naughty boys.
Oh boy. Yeah. Elon being bad. So there was, it was funny. Last week, Elon Musk was being asked. There was a rumor about his app Twitter being pulled from the App Store and Google Play. And ironically, he posted it. Somebody mentioned that, hey, you should come up with your own phone, make your own platform. And then Elon Musk being Elon Musk is like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Every time somebody comes against him and gives him another idea, he's like, yeah, I can do that.
So ironically, how many days later now, I think that was Friday or Saturday, here we are, where he basically tweeted out, Apple has also threatened to withhold Twitter from its App Store, but won't tell us why. And then he had this video come out. There was this video that came out about Fortnite. Everybody knows the Fortnite thing that happened where they got kicked off of the App Store because they wouldn't give certain I don't know if it was like a security issue or just certain things Apple wanted and demanded. Fortnite said, "The hell with you. We're not doing that."
I thought it was more they didn't want to pay that 30%.
Okay.
The 30% that comes up here from Elon too at some point. Yeah. So there's this, which thank you for Vex for bringing this up. So this company here, I think who are the creators of Odyssey, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they are.
They are, yeah. So everybody knows Odyssey is another platform that's growing. We are on Odyssey, by the way. Our stuff is mirrored to Odyssey and Rumble. So if you want to follow us there, just search Cannoli Sasquatch. It says here, during COVID, Apple demanded our apps filter some search terms from being returned. If you did not filter the terms, our apps would not be allowed on the store. Apple may make good products, but they have been opposed to free speech for some time. And this is the freedom. This is the secure platform, right? Apple preach this. What they preach is we're the secure platform. We're not Google. We just, we're locked down, privacy, which is all bullshit. We know it's bullshit. And then Elon Musk just went absolutely crazy today.
Yeah.
I mean, look, poll after poll. And then here's the thing about the tax here. Apple, puts a secret 30% tax on everything you buy through the App Store, which we all knew. It's just really and he's still going, even up to an hour ago. This is a battle for the future of civilization. It's free. If free speech is lost, even in America, tyranny is all. Did you see the picture he posted this morning with his little gun next to his?
Yeah. He's starting to act a little conservatively.
I think here it is. My bedside table, all the Coke cans and this beautiful weapon and a musket. Picture of George Washington crossing the river.
A long musket.
Long pistol there.
It's like this guy, I think you're right. I think what happened is that he saw what was going on in the world. knew it was unfair, wanted to make a change because he is technically, and his big thing is a betterment of mankind, right? I want to help mankind. Right. I think once he got into Twitter and the fight to get into Twitter and what the government put him through and the regulators put him through and once he got there with the stay woke bullshit that he found in the closets and the mess that he had to clean up, I think you're right. I think he says he's not traditionally left or right. I think he's slightly leaning more right now.
It all started with the flamethrowers.
Thank you.
When he got the flamethrowers, that's what began that part.
It's true.
I'm not jealous of his billions. I'm jealous of his flamethrowers.
No. Yeah,
I want a flamethrower.
That's the honest truth.
How do we buy a flamethrower?
He's only made like some for his friends, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, you get a Tesla. You get a Tesla, and then you put some salt water on it.
There you go.
Why can't we be his friends?
There's nothing saying that we can't. It's just I keep tagging him in my posts, and he hasn't said anything back. And I think it's because I'm in the nude.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Maybe if
I shouldn't say that. I'm only nude from the waist down.
That's really scary.
Are you trying to show him you're South African?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna I don't know if this is gonna come through correctly.
I pretend that I'm a little Filipino boy. Oh, who's that?
It's a photo of me in high school. I don't know if it's coming through clearly because it's a little
I can tell you're not wearing any hair.
Yeah, see? Look what a sexy man I was.
You're gorgeous.
Well, and then I don't know if you could see this one. This was
even
one
back then.
1990. Oh, it's on Twitter. Oh, I see.
Okay.
Oh, she sent them to my Twitter. See, this is what smart people do. I'm not intelligent. Here. There you go. Look at that sexy individual.
Oh, man.
Dang.
Looking cool.
You kind of look like my nephew. Are you my nephew?
Is that maybe? I didn't want to say anything. It's just, there was another one she was supposed to send. I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, anyway, you have all this stuff with Elon. What do you guys make of this? Like, did you expect anything like this when he bought this app? Did you expect a backlash like this? As heavy as it's been?
Yeah.
Yes. Whenever it came to the point when he was going to buy the app or threatening to buy it, I guess a while back after the Babylon Bee interview and all that, after he even started putting in interest into it, I was pretty much seeing that it was going to be a whole lot of backlash. However, I didn't see him actually kind of he himself going down a path of making me even me like it. Like everything that he posts is, you don't have to agree with it, but I'm not looking at it like he's posting again. No, everything dude's posting is pretty based, pretty legit. It's just his own interest.
Right.
Well, I figured when he announced that he was buying it or going to buy it, because I always figured that there's a lot of government influence, psyops, bots, and shit like that in there. Mm-hmm. So when he announced that he was going to buy it, I was like, well, here we go. So like all the influence of all these governments that control a lot of people, and a lot of people are controlled by this crap, whether directly or indirectly, that's to be said. But when he said he was going to buy it and he's going to make it a more free speech platform and he was going to get rid of the bots, I was like, well, there it is. That's the fight. And he's going to have an uphill battle. So now that Apple's saying that they're thinking about pulling them from the App Store, or at least he's saying that they're thinking about it. I immediately thought Parler, because Parler was taken off. And then all of a sudden the App Store and Google said no. And then AWS, Amazon Web Services, said absolutely not. And then he's looking to get Parlered down. That's what's coming down the pipe.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. And I think what Apple's going to do is right now, I think they're moving the troops to a position. If I was a guessing man, and I am, if I was going to put chips on something, I'm going to put chips on Twitter's violating the App Store's policy on adult content. And that's why they're going to remove it. I guarantee you that's the position they're going to try to land on. When they were completely fine when Jack was running it, and the one after him was running it, completely fine with that, completely fine with child pornography running rampant,
which he cleaned up, by the way.
CP, yeah. And he cleaned up all the CP. In 2 weeks, he was starting to really see some headway on that. And Eliza Blue on Twitter, who's a very big proponent on trafficking, human trafficking,
Right?
Big
was
time,
even
yeah.
saying how she was seeing a difference. So, yeah, and now all of a sudden, and I guarantee you, they're going to position themselves to go that route now, and it's just ridiculous. It's just a scapegoat in order to do this to him. And I think it's more than one government telling Apple that they need to do this. And that's what's going to be next is Google. And the next after that, I really hope he doesn't have servers on AWS or Twitter's going to get parlored.
I mean, I was going to say that would be the last option, right? Is if you have a web browser, that would be the only option at some point. But even then, like you said, no, people don't realize that AWS controls pretty much. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's my work websites and all that. It's all through AWS.
It's either AWS or Windows Cloud.
Maybe he'll compete and make his own cloud service if he's going to make a phone.
Why not?
Why stop
he's
there?
got Starlink.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
But you might as well get into just making a web service. Sorry, Whitbear.
No.
Sorry,
the backlash about all this is pretty crazy. I mean, it's not like he's driving around a Nazi car or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano has got to be the stupidest human being. Her looks only got her so far, and then now she's just probably the most retarded person I've seen on the internet. One of them.
She gives us people whose last names end in vowels a very, very bad rap.
Very bad name. That's very true. She makes us look bad. Her bullshit tweets this weekend were just so idiotic and stupid. And I mean, there was a whole collage, and I don't know, I guess I can look for of tweets from her not very long ago saying how much she loved Musk and she was buying his car and praising him as a genius.
All
and
the
then
great
now,
things he's done for the environment.
Just by purchasing a company. That's all he did. And said he wants free.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
How you doing?
Are we hosting the show now?
Just reach out.
Let's talk
reach
about
out. Grab the hand. Grab it.
Oh,
no. Oh, yeah. You're drinking too much. There you go. Oh, yeah. I feel you.
Wow.
Okay. Well.
Anyways.
Whoa.
Oh.
No.
We were about to say cannoli stories. What we talk about in the green room.
Freaking internet. You know, I switch internet companies to get better internet, and then the internet crashes on me. What the hell?
They fuck you to the drive-thru.
Oh, we were so like itching to host a show all of a sudden. It was turning dark real quick.
Yeah.
I like Abomination AJ. Abomination AJ's post here. Yeah, I got captured. They came after me.
Apple canceled them.
God, I swear to God. You know what? Here's the thing with I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing, or maybe it was YouTube. You know, I've heard rumors that even StreamYard takes streams down if they don't like what's being told on their. Yeah, it's all. I think they're all.
We were trying to help you out whenever you left. We instantly got into the gay shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to up your social
right when you left. We went, all right. Well, LGBT this up so we could get him back.
Were you gonna oil up your head and start rubbing it? Never mind.
That's a different movie.
Yeah, well, that's on next week's show. Anyway, what the hell are we talking about? Oh, Alyssa Milano being stupid. Yeah, just for buying a platform. But anyway, what I was saying is that I like Milano cookies, Grumpy Yoga. I like Milano cookies.
Yeah,
not her cookies.
I don't like. Well.
Yeah, mulattoes are cool, man.
I used to like her. I had a crush on her when I was a kid watching Who's the Boss.
I had a big time crush on her. Big time.
Wait. Whitey Bear says the Irish mob was far superior to the Italian mob. Is that what you said on the stream, White Bear?
I might.
I mean,
I correct.
Listen, if you wake up with a horse's head in your bed tomorrow, I don't want to hear you complain.
It wasn't one of us. No, he started to say stupid shit like that, and I corrected him right away.
I appreciate you, Copa.
Well, I'll play your lawyer, okay? I'll be the lawyer.
I know people who have gigabit internet and still have fucking crashes on the internet. So I guess apparently it's just doesn't matter. Fucking.
I think it depends. Like, is it satellite?
Mine's not. No, it's hardwired right to the freaking wall. Old school.
Oh, so it's like cable, or is it DSL?
It's cable. The problem. Here's the problem though. It's a fast download connection. The uploads are okay, but to get like the really high upload, you got to spend your kidney and sell your child. Wasn't willing to do that, but Pepperidge Farm Sausalito those are good cookies.
Hey, yeah, those are really good cookies.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue with that.
Those are quality. That's quality stuff. And Abomination AJ is part werewolf, so for him to say that, I appreciate that. He likes to eat meat and hunt. Yeah, he had a story this morning on Twitter. He almost killed somebody knocking on his door, and the guy was being nice to him and wanted to thank him for
fuck with a werewolf, man.
He was working out. He's like, I was all animalistic. I had my shirt off, and I opened the door. What? And the guy was nice. I was like, see, that's what happens when you're a werewolf.
Right.
He can't help it.
And I'm a Sasquatch. It's in our nature.
First of all, fucking bear.
It's 2022. What the hell are you doing knocking on doors?
That's a good point. In the middle of early in the day too.
Early in the day, knocking on doors. Who the fuck are you?
That's an invitation for bad things to happen.
Isn't it crazy how we've kind of changed over time to where it's like,
it used to be if you
calling, why would you call me? Just text me.
Well, it used to be, hey, I'm gonna go over to my friend's house, and you went and knocked on their door and said, hey, can Whitey Bear play?
Yeah.
But now it's like, why the fuck is someone knocking on my door? I'm gonna start shooting through.
See? Yeah, this is Meatball. And
exactly.
Have you ever
thank you for
if you're watching the stream, go watch. I don't know if you know the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco. Guy's fucking hilarious.
Oh, of course I know.
That skit, he's a skit he does where it's this ringing doorbell. Just go Google that. He talks about how like 20 years ago people would come over to your house and neighbors and you invite them in. Now you're ducking on the floor. You got your mom crawling across the floor. Like you got to call people from the driveway. Is it okay if we could? Like, it's so true. It's so true.
It's true.
People ring my doorbell. I just don't like it. It's just immediate Rambo vibes start kicking in. I'm like, okay, where's the gun? Who are you?
I'm going to open the door, but they're going to meet Satan on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you light the bag knock. Yeah, I agree with that. What can be bad?
That's good steps.
Yeah, so Alyssa Milano's a retard. She
has
comment.
I would say, most people, they say, she has the IQ of below room temperature. I think it's about room temperature. I think it hovers around 75. To be honest.
That's like Forrest Gump's.
She's shilling a book right now too. So
is she? Oh, she wrote a book.
Oh, of course.
There's no way she wrote a book.
Is it a coloring book?
She stayed in the lines. Damn it.
Okay, damn it.
No, it's called coloring outside the. You know how she is. She thinks outside a box. She colors outside the lines.
So should your trans kids.
Right.
I have a no soliciting sign on my door. We get solicitors all the time. Hang on, close the door, and walk away. When they ring the bell, I open the door and say, "Oh, is this a continuation? Congratulations, you're back." Well, hold on. Is Vex telling me something that I shouldn't be saying? Listen, I got kicked off the stream already once.
Right.
I've heard people say this word. I'm not monetized. Doesn't matter. We're not making any money. Yet.
Well, what's it mean? It means you're not working correctly.
Thank you. It's not derogatory.
No, not at all. Like a year ago, my engine was retarded.
Is this true, Copa? You made a coloring book?
Yeah, totally. I mean, when I don't know, 6 years ago, it was a Christmas coloring book.
Did you really?
Hey, if you want to order a Christmas coloring book for adults, it's on Amazon. Yeah, absolutely. About 7 years ago. Yeah, we were just messing around and we put it on Amazon. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Copa has a book on Amazon too.
And it does feature the R word in it, actually.
Nice. Now I gotta buy it now. Now I gotta buy it. That's gonna be the new family gift for everyone.
All right. Can you put up what she actually said there on Twitter here in a minute? That way we
can yeah. Let me if my computer doesn't try to kill me.
I'll close out this chapter of Milano in my life.
Goddamn Italian bastards.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. There was actually.
Can you say the G word? The guinea. I can say.
Well, Yeah, that's not derogatory because it's for us.
Can white bear say it?
No,
I don't think white bear can say it.
I am too white for that.
Wow.
Here, this is what she kind of. I'm gonna pull this up. This is on Steven Crowder's actually Twitter, but he lays it out perfectly. So she writes, I gave back my Tesla. I bought the VW EV. I love it. I'm not sure how advertisers could buy space on Twitter. Publicly traded companies, products being pushed in alignment with hate and white supremacy doesn't seem to be a winning business model.
Her stupidity is actually is oddly attractive. It's almost oddly attractive how dumb she is.
How stupid she is, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're so dumb.
Oh, wow,
you want to pat her on the head.
Oh my God.
And then the Hodge twins were like, did you know about the history of Volkswagen?
Wait, they were like,
You got to read it. Yeah, you got to read it in Hodge Twins' voice.
Like the how do you do it? Volkswagen was literally founded by Nazis and Hitler.
What, do they pity the fool too?
Elon Musk is just laughing his
that
ass
was a
off
damn good show.
Damn good show.
He's just laughing her ass off. Elon was trying to be nice about it. He even said, well, sometimes they're publicists or they get a whole other manager, and people are like, no, she's stupid.
Yeah, she's stupid because first of all, this is a company that was founded literally by the Nazis and Hitler, funded by Nazis and Hitler, and then and that's how they got their start. Now, personally, to me, I don't really care. They made up for it, and they moved on. Everybody moved on. It's by her standards and people like her that irritates the shit out of me. They have these standards of, they bring up slavery and stuff like that and how it's affected people all the way up until now. But then they turn around and they do something like this. And it's like, why can't you live up to your damn standards? You put
Vex has a point.
What'd you say?
Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, just
right.
Sarah Silverman I remember that, and she
and then she went on this. She's calling out like LA City Council to figure out who's putting out the damn swastikas on the ground, and someone had to say, "Look, honey, sweetie, that's construction. That's called construction.
You're stupid. Yeah, you're stupid.
Dumb.
Another unfunny, untalented.
Yeah,
she's basically just another Amy Schumer.
Right, but back to my point, and what I'm saying is that they don't live by their standards, but they want to make for damn sure that all of us live by the standards they set.
What the fuck?
What did he say? Sarah Silver. I'll read this one. Sarah Silverman said she sucked dick for weed, and that wasn't even weed. So her opinion is invalid.
Oh my God! Why am I not surprised?
You know what?
You know what
You're
that
absolutely
deserves?
right.
You know what that deserves? That deserves this.
Italians do weird things for oregano.
Well, yeah, duh.
It's fresh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we call it pesci.
We love food. We put things in our mouths a lot. I mean, it's the way it is. How else are you going to taste test?
Like wet noodles.
Lots of wet noodles. Limp wet noodles.
Limp wet noodles, man.
And special sauce goes on top.
That doesn't mean anything, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't want to sound weird.
You do that all on your own.
So I can't comment on this.
White bear is like,
well, you work at a pizza place. So,
that's what I'm saying. I don't comment on anything about that.
I think
to me the worst movie is Waiting. I think it's called.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that was like the worst movie in my opinion. Like because
about waiting.
Like and people mess with other people's food and stuff like that. Like it's a funny gag and all that, but you know how many people you just kill their trust in the chef.
Well, because that probably happens though, no?
I mean, like, honest to goodness, I've hated it. I've very much disliked a lot of, some customers out there, like ones that just, you finally have to say, never come back here again. I hate your face. You suck. You're an R word. And
wow.
But I would still not mess with their food. Still not do it.
All right.
What was the best movie about waiting tables? Because you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the best
The
movie.
Oh, when they got shot in the restaurant. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I was like, you know what the best movie about waiting tables is? The Godfather.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. Or you know what? I would say
Italian
Office Space.
food.
Goddamn
Office Space is
Italians.
probably Office Space covers everybody who's ever hated work.
By the way, Vex and I this morning were gifting each other in Office Space status, and so she was asking us if we were going to review that movie someday, and I said, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%.
That scene when they take out the fax machine into the desert. You know how many times I've wanted to do something like that? Working at office jobs.
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
And then you just beat the shit out of it.
Somebody's got a case of the Monday. I want to fight. I want to choke that woman. Choke her. Because I used to work with people like that.
My favorite part, because I've been in this like similar situations like this before, where he accuses her of sleeping with Lumberg, and then like 5 or 6 scenes later, after he figured out she didn't sleep with the right Bill Lumberg.
The right Lumberg.
Yeah, he said that too. He was all like, "I'm sorry, I have to apologize to you. You know, it wasn't even the right Lumberg." I'm like, I've been there before. Like, dude, I totally went off on you. It wasn't even the right Lumberg.
Lumberg fucked her.
Showed her my O face.
Oh.
That movie's a classic.
Yeah, totally.
What is this? Yeah, R2 says he works in the tech industry, and his dad and brother did. I've worked in offices. It's so true, and it's true to the fact where they will promote you for doing nothing. I've worked in companies like that before, so many times over. It was a Mike Judge, right? Who wrote the? Yeah.
It was his first live action. Yeah.
It was based off stuff that he experienced, and it's just, why are we not writing movies about this stuff?
You know what? We're kind of reviewing it now, but it does actually. The Office Space touches everybody who's been in the private sector work life. Honestly,
oh, that's true. Yeah,
like you didn't have to wait tables or work in an office to really recognize every little scenario in there was fucking true. You just went, oh my God, I know these fucking people. I work with these people. These people are my boss. These other people who are my friends say the same fucking thing. And yes, we've all wanted to take the piece of equipment from work out into the middle of the field and beat the shit out of it with bats like the mafia would.
Just the idea of the freedom that you lose working in an office. Now, listen, I work a 9-to-5 job. The only difference is that my boss gives me a lot of freedom. I work from home. I'm not stuck to my chair all the time.
Right.
There's differences. It's similar, but it's not. But I have worked those types. And apparently, Filipino Meatball says that a priest touched his private sector.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Father O'Brien.
That's where he got the moves.
Yeah, he had to move. He had to slither away in the confessional. So he just
there was the screen, and then there was a hole underneath that screen to pass the Eucharist through.
Yeah, well, that's what they said it was for. Yeah.
Did it block Filipino's first comment?
No, I accidentally just put it in the wrong order because
I'm just looking at the YouTube chat here and all that.
It's possible. Who the hell knows? YouTube doesn't like me today. They cut me off my feed. YouTube got gay on me.
Okay,
so think. Go ahead. Sorry. Go.
Well, I was going to say, let's get back to Alyssa.
Yeah.
Let's get back to bashing Alyssa Milano. Yeah, so she got a lot of shit for this, and of course she doubled down on it, as always. But she is, like you said, not an intelligent person. Doesn't know her history about anything. Got called out. Elon Musk doesn't give a shit about this. He's laughing his ass off about it. And a lot of people similarly. I think there was one person who even talked something about SpaceX and not space. Isn't SpaceX his? Who isn't SpaceX Musk?
Yeah, it's his.
Something about they're going to support NASA over SpaceX more. And I don't know if that was a parody.
No, that was a troll job. I actually saw that one.
Okay, good. I was like,
that was a very neat troll.
It was very funny, actually.
I was applauding that one. I was like, wow, I wish I could troll just as well as this.
Just as good as that.
Oh yeah, that was good.
But yeah,
because what he said is, I'm no longer supporting SpaceX, who hires Nazis or whatever. I'm going to support NASA, and NASA is their entire history of rocket science is through Nazis. So it was a really nice troll job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's just take whatever Alyssa Milano says with a grain of salt, literally, and just not give her any attention. But unfortunately, she thinks she's smarter than she is, and thinks she's actually being courageous here when she's just not understanding anything.
Well, the thing is that Volkswagen, if you remember correctly, about 7 years ago, they got busted for tricking out their cars to not register emissions. Yeah.
Yeah.
With software.
That makes sense. It was originally named after the people's car.
Right.
So a lot of the peoples don't give a flying underwater fuck about your emissions.
Right.
No.
But then a year later, the CEO echoes the same phrase that was written over Auschwitz, which was a cruel joke that said, "Work shall set you free." And the CEO of Volkswagen, that was started by Nazis, echoed this quote. And this is the company she's championing now. And I'm not saying this company is beholden to their history forever.
Right.
No, of course not.
On the contrary. But what I'm saying is, once again, she demands everybody else lives by a certain set of standards, and then she goes and lives her own.
Well, she's the same kind of person who's like, well, XYZ about America was founded off of something bad. Thus, it needs to eventually be
right. Destroyed. Yeah, she's someone Alyssa Milano, and I don't know this for a fact, but she strikes me as a person who thinks that the 1619 project is an actual historical account of what's happened in America. She strikes me as that type of
100%. And it will do no research other than the fact she heard it from somebody, and that's it. It's religion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of these people on the left do.
Right, it's gospel.
It's gospel. And she's just an idiot. But never mind that she can afford a Tesla and get another VW or get a VW electric vehicle. God knows what the costs are on both those vehicles. Where most people, I know the government's trying to force us to buy these someday. But these are not cheap vehicles either, and just total out of touch with reality, just like every other typical celebrity. Just really annoying, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on today, so I'm glad we got to talk about most of this, but it's crazy out there.
The thing with electronic vehicles too is, okay, it's better for the environment, whatnot, until you start looking at that battery.
Yeah.
Once you start looking at a battery, Jesus.
Where it comes from, the hole that's dug for it, the process
of the lithium,
make it. The fact that it only lasts 150,000 miles or 10 years, whichever comes first. I mean,
it costs $40,000 to replace or something.
Yeah, I saw one guy who showed his receipt, and it cost like $10,000 to replace it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'll stick with my combustion engine.
Yeah,
that I still know how to fix.
You bastard! You're hurting the environment. You don't care.
You know what? Every day the environment's trying to kill me. I'm just getting it back a little bit.
Well, I got your hair first.
Exactly. See, this is environmental. This wasn't genetic.
No, not at all. Not at all. Nothing with you is genetic, right?
No, I'm a genetic anomaly. Trust me.
Oh, had that beautiful. God. You had to make it in a lab.
That is true. That face.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So really, we nailed a lot of stuff today. So what do we realize here? We figured out that Disney is shit. Kathleen Kennedy's absolute garbage, and she'll be gone soon. But nothing will change for Disney, probably, at least for a long while. Elon Musk is trying to be the hero we all need but don't deserve, and Disney's losing a shit ton of money on their animated movies because they're trash. Is that pretty much it at all?
That nailed it, yeah.
And then Copa has a coloring book. I don't know about wet noodles, and
it's about the R-word Santa.
Nice.
It's seriously in a coloring book for adults. When the kids go to bed, you bust this out and you color it.
I don't think people realize you actually have a book though, too. You wrote a book.
Yes, I did.
Okay, why don't you talk about your book real quick? Promote your book, because I was just curious.
Okay, so I wrote a book about a year ago called Why Not Wichita, and it was a sci-fi adventure book, and it's more of a novella than it actually is a novel, but it's sci-fi adventure. And I was irritated with how women were written in action films, specifically one that will not be named, but I was really irritated with it. So I went home and wrote my own. And then it was a short story. I was just messing around with a different medium because I obviously wrote screenplays. So I was just messing around with like prose. And then I handed it over to my wife and she said, I want more. So I went, oh shit, I'm kind of onto something. So I wrote about 90 pages. It's called Why Not Wichita. It's exclusively on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. And the second part should be coming out early second quarter next year. That one's been kind of delayed. I've been kind of hamstrung with that one. Funny story. My artist shot his drawing hand with a nail gun. And it went through. Yeah, it went straight down his finger into his nail.
When I did that.
And he called me. He called me one day and he said, hey, dude, I'm about 75% done with your artwork. And I said, great. That's wonderful. And he said, yeah, the bad part is I might lose my hand tomorrow. So you might want to check out what you have and see if you're okay with what you get. So I had to deal with that.
Scary.
Yeah. And then my editor went through some health scares and crises. So it's been delayed for quite some time, but it's coming out next year, second quarter 2023. And then the third book should follow right behind it. They're all done. They're just waiting to get published. So
yeah, basically I have to, you're basically telling me I have to buy this book or you're going to come find me.
Absolutely. I have a specific set of skills.
You sure do.
Yes.
All right. So I put the link for his book in the YouTube chat. So if you're on there and you want it, I'm going to have to purchase this book this week. I will do that. Now it's a short read. Listen, I still have to read my freaking Isom comic. That's how slow I am with things.
Yeah, that's me too. So I got it about a month ago, and I'll totally do an Isom stream with you.
I would love to do an Isom review stream. White Bear, do you have an Isom comic?
No, I'm posters coming Christmas, but
here's what you do. We'll review the comic and you'll just hold up the poster for us.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
Can you do that?
I have that ability.
Well, close your ears too. We don't want to blow it for you.
I mean, you do what you got to do.
And by the way, did you fellas saw that we have our first clips up from our last week's show on YouTube of all of us. I did.
Wonderful job, and thank you for putting those up.
Yeah.
Well, I had to finally get that up. I was editing all weekend, and I said, it's time. It's time that people could look at our faces, and hopefully after they eat. And
right.
But I thought the clip came out well. I was gonna run it by you, but I just I got so tired of editing at that point. I was like, I think it looks good. I like the beginning. I like the intro. I like the outro. God damn it!
Definitely try to benefit from hosting all that and getting everybody together, because you're also on other people's streams too and all that. So get the clips from where you can, dude.
I'm trying. I like that. I like now that I have the split streams, so that way I can pick and choose. It's makes it easier, but also tougher in a way, because I still have to go through 2 streams then instead of 1. But it's definitely easier to pick and choose from those once I do have it. So and I will be on a stream Tuesday the 6th. I'll actually be on the Lambency show, which is Vex network. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern time on the 6th 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. my time. I'm going to be on. I think we're going to start it off on Twitch, and then it's going to go up to Rumble and 85 platforms that they're on afterwards. But
what are we talking about? What are we going to be talking about? What's the topic?
It's basically similar to what we talk about here. It's going to be a little bit of everything: pop culture, video games, movies, why I'm a sexy individual. It's little things.
No. That's stuff. Right. Yeah. That last one was very little.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Jan says she shared She shared the snowballs link with Mrs. So we're gonna have to buy all your stuff. So basically, Merry Christmas now from us.
Jeez, thank you.
We're going to basically support you through the rest of the year by sharing out that link.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I just feel like one special lady.
You should.
Thank you.
You should.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Cannoli, especially Mrs. Cannoli, because we all know who runs the house.
I like this. Lambency has zero pop culture knowledge. That's why I'm going to educate him, Vex. Duh. Yeah, I kind of got that impression, but it's okay.
What time is that show?
It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to put out links and stuff on my community page and on Twitter.
Yeah,
obviously before.
Let us know so we can blast it out there.
What was the movie that shall not be named? Copa Vex wants to know.
Oh yeah, everybody wants to know that one, but I'm not telling. You know what? If you read the book and you come up with if you come up with your own guess, then I will let you know.
So, but what he's saying is that he's forcing you to buy it and then guess.
No, you can go ahead and steal it off somebody. You can go ahead and steal it off Cannoli.
You could well, she's in Canada though. She's not going to get it through. I can't send it up to her. They'll just burn it at the border.
Someone needs to get her out of there.
She's trying.
Truck her out of there.
Yeah, we're gonna get you out of it. We're gonna break you out of. Well, Filipino Meatball's willing to do things to Trudeau to get you gun rights. So, what else would he do to get you freedom?
It seems like they're a little bit harder on.
I just saw Advent. He's on the right track. My book is kind of after a Vivid video.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off, White Bear.
Brazers is free now. Jesus. So I know next week we'll be back with the movie review stuff. So we're going to kind of switch back and forth a little bit. Now we're going through the Christmas season. We're going to be doing some movie reviews. Next week is a great Christmas movie. Everybody loves this movie. It's Lethal Weapon. I mean, who doesn't love a good Christmas movie with murder and shooting and Murtaugh and Riggs?
Yeah. Yeah, Rog.
Gary Busey in that one.
And Gary Busey fighting in the front lawn with a car driven through the wall.
And I really want to say it's the first, at least, major motion picture that you saw jiu-jitsu.
Yes, it is.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, like he was under the Gracies back in the day. There, they kind of taught him some stuff for the movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie that set off a whole bunch of sequels.
But
I still think Lethal Weapon 2 might have been a little better than the first one.
Yeah, that one's a little bit darker. That's for fucking sure.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of sad shit in that movie. It was good though. Yeah. After that, 3 and 4.
3 and 4 is just they dropped the dark shit and they just went for the comedy.
And a lot of
which I was fine with.
Action.
It was fun. I thought they were fun. To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, every one of them. I
like them. I own them all, so I'm a sucker for them.
Yeah.
And I think there's a 5th one that they're talking about making, and I don't know if that's still happening.
I just don't think it will.
I don't think it would work. Like what, Danny Glover? I mean, he looks fit, but he's in his 70s. Mel's in his 60s.
You know what?
I think Mel could probably do it, but
Pesci's semi-retired. He only comes out for Scorsese movies now.
Yeah. But they de-age him.
Yeah. Oh my God! Did you see that shit in The Irishman?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch Do not watch The Irishman. The only reason why you would watch The Irishman, to be honest with you, is Pacino's parts.
And, I watch it in parts.
Yeah, and Pesci was good. Pacino was really good in it. The De Niro parts were fucking awful, and he's
going through the motions.
Right, but on they tried to de-age him.
Shoes.
Well, they de-age him, right? And he's 75 now,
mm-hmm.
and they de-age him to make him look like he's in his 20s in World War II. But when it's World War II, he looks like he's 50-year-old Robert De Niro playing a 20-year-old. It's fucking awful.
It's bad. It's really a shame because they could have went the young actor route, but he didn't want to do that. It is what it is. To me, it's Scorsese's last big movie with these guys in it together. It was an okay movie. I watch it in parts. That's all I do. I go to my favorite parts. I skip through all the horrible shit and I go through parts. And Pacino is amazing in the movie. I think he was the whole movie.
I think so too. And I really do think it was Scorsese's excuse to work with Pacino for the first time.
Yeah. Because they were supposed to work together for a lot of projects and they never did.
It's a really sad way to do it.
Well, that's exactly. And then what I was saying is, how we're talking with the Heat podcast, it was sort of like, why hasn't Scorsese worked with Pacino yet? Like, this just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And so
I almost did
they
a
got
bunch
around
of
to it.
times. Yeah, but hey, well, at least we got that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Netflix, for that shit. So I want to thank everybody who in the chat here. There's a lot of people that came through here. Vex Electronica, of course. Wookie Be Bad was in here. Filipino Meatball, of course, with his lovely dance moves. Miss Cannoli Sasquatch. Advent, which is Weird World Comedy, of course.
Yes.
R2 the Icky, Double G Greg, Diana. Jesus. Abomination AJ, thanks for stopping by. Left Eye Ego was in here before, who probably has my merch just at his front door, but we'll talk about that at another time.
Oh yeah,
so
why don't you tell people where they can get your merch?
Well, I actually have the link in the description for the merch.
Okay, good.
Right now, so thank you for that, God. I forgot to do this last week too. So thank you for your bald loveliness and baldness.
Yeah.
Wookie Be Bad is playing Call of Duty still, which damn, that guy's a machine. Okay. Yes. So links in the description. I forgot to do this last week. Good call, Copa. Everybody's links are in the description. All their socials are in the description. Their YouTube channels are in the description. Copa and White Bear, go subscribe to their YouTube channels there. Their social media platforms, Twitter's on there. And then also, I forgot to do this. I guess whoever wants to start, tell us where we can find you, what you have upcoming, what's going on.
You go ahead first, Whitey Bear.
All righty. You can find me at White Bear 2 YouTube and the Rumbles and the Walmarts. The Rumbles.
Did you say the Walmarts?
The Walmarts. Take your kids to the Walmart like Friday. Okay. Yeah. You can find me there. Every week I put out new little set of videos. We got 3 scheduled right now. 2 came out today, and there's 3 more coming this week. Everything's going good on there, and thanks to YouTube and all the shout outs and Bex and others and plenty of others in the chat. I can't name them all. And Horror Amarada. Good shout outs. We jumped up another like 25 subscribers past couple of days. And
that's right. Hey, hey everybody, we're trying to get him to 100 before Christmas. If you can pass it around, let's get him up to 100. 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Let's combine our followers on Twitter, Copa, and get him up there because that seems to work.
I was trying, I saw you post that, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do like a little short, like, hey, let's get him to 85 by the weekend. Yeah. So by this Friday, I want to see him by 85. So where are you at now?
83.
Oh shit!
He'll be at 100 before Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So,
good. Yeah. So let's push him.
Everything's going good on there, and getting a crap ton of views, especially from those stupid shorts that you don't think will do anything, and suddenly, I'm looking.
Yeah, your Kamala Harris one today was very good.
So, now to a warning, these are political videos and stuff like that. So if that's not your thing, I don't blame you. Don't join that. But if you do, come by and see me sometime.
Nice.
Copa?
Yes, sir. You can find me at Peter J. Catania on Twitter. And what I got going on right now is I'm doing a review on Barbarian. So everybody's talking about it. I saw it a couple months ago. I liked it. And I want to review it. Especially because so we're going through this little phase of where comedians think they're horror film directors now, and it seems like the first one out of the chute, they're doing okay. You had doing Get Out, and that was actually decent. And now you have this new comedian who was a member of The Whitest Kids You Know. He directed Barbarian and wrote it, and Barbarian actually turned out to be okay. Like it's a little surprising, and so that's the angle I'm going with this review. Is it's a little surprising that when you find a comedian that can actually scare the shit out of you too. So
Kevin
that's what
Hart
I got.
Does that to me for all the wrong reasons, though.
Yeah, well, it's because he's so little.
He's
and he only seems to pop up around The Rock.
Yeah, that's very true. Jesus.
They might as well just get married. Just get married, guys.
Yeah, I got to watch Barbarian, and my kid actually saw it before I did. It's on HBO Max, I think, right now.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check that out. There's a lot of this is that time of year we're trying to squeeze in as much as we can, content-wise, family stuff, and then stuff for the channel. So I I will be on here Friday with Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch because she watched RRR for the first time this past weekend. So we are doing our review of I'm doing a re-review. It's her first review of RRR.
You're going to get so many hits out of Triple R.
Yeah, I did actually. My main video I did solo got a lot, and
I did.
Long time ago, like when I was still way lower subscription wise than I am now. So we'll see how that goes. But
my Triple R review is still the biggest one I've ever done. It's almost at 50,000 views now, if not over.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If I can get to 50,000 views, I'll dance naked on the channel.
Let's get this man on 50,000.
Let's do this.
100,000. Yeah. Never mind.
No, you already said 50,000 views.
A Lamancy show came in late to the Amy Schumer. It scares me that she thinks she's funny. Yeah, she's very scary. I will.
Well,
so
that's what happens when your uncle is running the Senate.
Yeah, I was going to say, for how many years now that piece of shit's been in the Senate?
Your uncle runs the Senate. You know, you get a free pass on everybody saying, "Oh, you're so funny! Oh my god,
you're so funny guy!
Oh my god, you're so funny!"
Such a trash family. I'll be here 7:05 Mountain Standard Time Friday with the missus. May or may not have a guest on there with us. Not sure. We're gonna find out Wednesday about that.
What was that Kirby man you had dancing earlier?
Wow. If he would watch the show, he'd be welcome. But I don't know if it's his thing. But I want to see him dance. So that's what I like to see.
So we have a mystery guest on Friday.
Might have a mystery guest, maybe not. Sometimes these things just don't work out. But if we don't, Mrs. Sasquatch and I'll hold it down. We'll do a shorter video about the review and maybe dance.
Nice.
You know, a little Indian dance here and there. Doesn't
but
hurt
not
anybody,
naked
right?
one.
Get that Canadian girl on there.
Vex?
Yeah, that way we can get her married off and she can get a passport. And all
she is married.
Well,
what is it, to an American for a green card?
Yeah.
She's trying to get to Florida. That's all I know. How she gets there and what she does to get there is in between her and whatever. We love you, Vex. Just kidding.
We love you.
Most people get to Florida by tire boat.
Bro, I have an American husband. See? She has an American husband.
Then she should be fine.
She'll
get your green card, girl.
Yeah. In Florida. See, she's in the freest state in the country. She will be in the freest state in the country, I should say.
And
then so I'll be back here Friday, and then on the December 6th, I will be on the Lamancy show, talking about whatever God knows Lamancy wants to talk about. It's his show. I let him run it. That'll be fun.
I like this show.
They have a great show.
I started.
They do have
talking
an
about
amazing
politics
show.
one night, and he was going off. And Vex said,
their Sunday show is great. They talk about everything, and they're funny together. It's awesome. Yeah. So we're gonna get them more promotion. They're on Rumble, and their numbers were much higher this week than last week. And
great.
Congratulations. So that's awesome. Guys. Yeah. So that's great news. We'll keep promoting them, and then that's pretty much it. All I got. So I appreciate you guys for this. Is a great show tonight. We had some good numbers. I know that's mostly because of Copa's baldness, but hey, look at that head. Who wouldn't love that head? We will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to talk Lethal Weapon. And until then, have a great night.